Hello everyone, welcome back to the classes. So today we'll continue with chapter 10 and we'll study method or function overloading. So what is a method or function overloading? If you remember in class 9, we have already studied in chapter 1, the first chapter, definition of overloading. The definition says the methods or the functions, those have same name but different parameter list or arguments and different definition is called method or function overloading. That is, if there are more than one function inside a class, all the functions should be inside a class and all these functions are having same name. For example, a class contains 3 functions and all the 3 are having same name, but they will have different parameters. Then this will be known as situation of function overloading. So how to write method overloading? What are the types of method overloading we can get? How to call different types of functions? We'll be studying all this by help of a program. Method overloading programs are very easy to understand. The only 2 things you have to remember, that is all the functions should have same name and they should have different or unique parameters. These are the only 2 things you have to remember, or else the programs are very easy. So let us understand function overloading by the help of a program. So question is asked, write a program using 3 functions called area. Means all the 3 functions will be called area. Means you should understand from this that this is the situation of function overloading. To compute the area of a circle, square and rectangle. In addition, display the menu to output the area as per user choice. So here either will print the area of circle or the area of square or the area of rectangle as per user's choice. So skip user's choice right now. First we'll write only the 3 functions. Okay. And since all the 3 functions will be having same name, we'll call it as a function overloading. But remember, we have to make the parameters unique or the program will not work. So here you can see that we are finding similar thing, that is area. So in the definition it is written that method overloading is generally used when objects are required to perform similar tasks but different input parameters. So here you can see we are doing similar task. Area of a circle, area of a square, area of a rectangle. So we are finding the same thing, that is area for different types of geometrical figures. Okay, the difference is the geometrical figures, but we are finding area. The area is the similarity here. So in these types of programs, like find the area of 3 to 4 geographical figures or find the perimeter of the figures or volume of the figures. So similar to this type of question you will be getting in your board exam. Okay, so let us solve this question. So we need to create 3 functions and all the 3 functions will have the same name, that is area, area and area. All the 3 functions will be having the same name. In the first function we will be calculating area of circle, that is pi r square, that is the formula. Next we have to find the area of square, that is side square. And next we need to find the area of rectangle, that is length into breadth, right? This is the question asked. Okay. So all the functions should have same name, that is point number 1, and point number 2 is the parameter should be unique. So now point number 1 is already there because all the function name are area, all the 3 functions, so overloading is done. But it to be correct, the parameter should be unique. Okay, so to find the area of a circle, what do you need? You already know the value of pi, 3.14 or 22/7, whatever you can take. Okay, it will give the same value. Okay, we just need the r, so that if we get the radius we can calculate the circle. Similarly, for finding the area of square you need s, and to find for the rectangle you need L and B. Okay, so here you have one argument inside a parameter, here also you have one argument inside a parameter, and here you have 2 arguments in a parameter. So we already know what input we need to take in all the functions. In the function 1 we need radius as the input, in function 2 we need the side as the input, and in function 3 we need length and breadth as the input. Now our task is to make the parameters unique. So parameter can be made unique in two ways. A parameter can be made unique in two ways. That is, first one is number of arguments inside a parameter. So in this question, in the first function we have only one argument, that is radius. In the second function we have only one argument, that is side. In the third we have two arguments, that is length and breadth. Okay. So the number of arguments are 1, 1 and 2 respectively. So here this is unique, but again these two are same. Now what to do? These two are same because they are having same number of parameters. Then we'll come to the second point, that is different data type. So whenever there is same number of arguments, here you cannot change, right? You cannot take radius 2 times, or you cannot take radius 3 times. You cannot change the number of parameters here. It is fixed. For here you need radius only. For here you need side only, and for here you need length and breadth. So this is already unique because it has different number of arguments. But here in the first two functions, the number of arguments are same and you cannot change it also. So what you have to do? You have to change the data type. For example, for the circle you will take int, and for the square you will take double, or vice versa. Or for 1 you will take float and double. You can change in any way, but it should not be same. So either you have to change the number of arguments inside a parameter, or you have to change the data type. So there are two ways to make the parameter unique. Okay. So now we'll come to this program. So let us take a class name. Next we have to define 3 functions, and all the functions should have the same name, that is area, because here we are doing function overloading. There are 3 functions having the same name. In the first function we have to calculate the area of circle, that is pi r square, where r is the radius and 3.14 is the pi value. So you need the value of r. Let the data type be int. Okay. Next we need to find the area of square, that is side into side. Let the data type be double. And next we need to find the area of rectangle. Let it be int L and double P. Clear? Done. So this function will calculate the area of circle, this function will calculate the area of square, and this function will calculate the area of rectangle. Simple. So this is nothing but this is a program of function overloading. Okay. Generally in board exam you will be not asked to write main method. Okay. You will be only asked to write the 3 functions or 4 functions to do overloading, and if you follow the rules, that is all will have same name but different parameters. Either the parameters may be different in number of parameters. So in this case it is 1, 1 and 2. So this is unique, but again these two will have only one parameter. So we have to go to the second step, that is you have to change the data type. So one is int, one is double. So the program is over. In board exam generally you will get only this part, to write only the overloading part. But assume that in board exam it will also ask to write the main function. So actually till now we have not written the main function. Okay. So now we'll do one more thing. We'll declare the variables and write the print statement also. So let the variable a, I have taken a global variable so that the variable a can be used throughout the class, or it can be used in all the functions. And let us also print the areas in each case. And now we will compile and run the program. So object is created. So now you can see we have all the 3 functions showing, and see all the names are void area because it is this concept of function overloading. So you can choose anyone to run it. For example, you want to find the area of rectangle. So we'll click this. 5 and 10, so answer will be 50.0. Similarly, you want to find for the square, 2500. Next, for example, you want to find the area of circle. The radius is, for example, 5. The answer is 78.5. Okay. So you can also run individual functions and get the answer. But now I will also explain you how to write the main function in case it is asked in your exam. So here you can see I have expanded the question, that is display the menu to output the area as per user choice. Means actually here you have to write a main method, and in that main method you have to take user choice. User choice means user will tell that if he wants to find the area of circle or square or rectangle. Okay, you have already done many menu driven programs. Okay, so let us do it. So for menu driven we'll be using scanner, import java.util.asterisk. Okay, and we'll write the void main. You can write public void main also. And since you are taking input in main function, I will be writing the throws input mismatch exception in main function only. Then we'll write the scanner line, scanner x equal to new scanner system.in, and then before taking input you have to write the print statement, and in this print statement we'll display the menu. 1 for area of circle, similarly 2 for square and 3 for rectangle. Area of square, and if the user inputs 3, it will be the area of rectangle. Then we'll ask the user for the choice. Let the variable be c. So we have x dot next int. It will be integer value 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got the choice. Now we'll check if choice is 1, then what we'll do? We'll call area. If choice is 2, we'll also call area. And if choice is 3, then also we are going to call area. Because all the 3 functions are having same name. So what will happen? Java will get confused. So for choice 1, we are finding the area of circle. So what do we need to send? The radius. But where is the radius? So now we have to also ask the user for the radius. So we have to take the input for radius also. So we'll write the print statement system.out.println, enter radius. So if you don't take radius as the input, how will you calculate? Okay, and then we'll write, let the variable be p. So p equal to x dot next int, and we'll also declare the variables, and then we'll call the function area and send the value. Clear? Similarly do for other situations also. This time we'll ask enter side of square, and this will be next double, and let it be q. So again we have a variable q, and we'll call area and send the value q. Similarly for rectangle, enter length and breadth. It will have 2 values, right? So we'll ask for 2 inputs. Let one be p and another be q. Clear? And this time we'll be sending 2 values, because to calculate rectangle we need 2 values, right? So now the question comes, when we call area, how will compiler know which area are we calling? Because there are 3 areas and all the function having the name areas. So how will Java compiler know which function are we calling? So what it will do, first it will match the number of parameters and the type, means the data type of the parameter. For example, the user has entered the choice as 1, you have got the radius value and you are sending the radius value. So here the compiler do what? It will check all the function with name area that are having only one parameter. So this area has one parameter, this area has one argument in the parameter, but this area has two arguments. So it will reject this. So now it will see only this. So again there are two. So which area to go? Then it will match what is the type of the argument. So here the data type is int. So here one is int, one is double. So it will go where? Where it will match? It will match in int. So it will automatically go to the circle. It will automatically go to the circle. You don't have to worry that I have taken radius but it will calculate area of square. No, that will not happen. Okay. It will go automatically to circle because the parameter is matching. So it will match the parameter and it will go. So in the definition also we studied that when we call a method, the Java compiler matches up. What does it match? The method name first, okay, means here area, and then the number and type of parameters. So first it will match the name. So in this case 3 are matching. There are 3 areas. Then it will go for the number of parameters. So in the first 2 cases there is 1 and in the second case there are 2. So it will reject the third one because there are 2. But you are sending only one value this time. So again it will get confused in the first 2 functions. Then it will check for the data type of the parameter. And this process is known as polymorphism. And you can also add if the choice is wrong for a better improved program, that if choice is less than 1 or choice is greater than 3. Then you can also print as wrong choice. Wrong choice. In all the menu driven program, we have to write that in case the user is entering a wrong choice, you have to print that it is a wrong choice, or you have to change the choice or wrong choice entered. Okay, clear? Understood? So now we'll do the same question, but instead of 3 functions, we'll be using 3 constructor called area. And the class name will also be area because the constructor name and the class name will be same. Okay. So in case of function, we'll be using 3 constructors. All the constructor name will be known as area. Okay. So again we have to take the class name as area. We cannot take different class name or else it will not be a constructor, because constructor is, it should have same name as the class name. So let us convert this program into constructor. It is very easy. Okay. So first we have to change the class name as area because it should match with the constructor name. And constructor, the rule, do you remember? It should not have void or any return data type. And next we have to make a little bit change here. So here to call each constructor we have to create different object. Okay. So here there are 3 constructors. Constructor number 1 to find the area of circle, constructor 2 to find the area of square, and constructor 3 to find the area of rectangle. So here in constructor overloading you have to create 3 objects, okay, to call the constructor. So this is another thing you have to remember. So now we'll delete this here and here in this case. Okay, we'll create the object here and call, because if you remember, the constructor is called automatically when object is created. So therefore there are 3 constructors, you have to create object 3 times. And what is the syntax? It is class name object name equal to new class name, and we have to send the value to the constructor. So here it will automatically call the first constructor. Here all the 3 constructors having the same name, that is area. It is also kind of function overloading. Okay, what is the difference between function and constructor? A constructor is nothing but it is a function, a special function, because it doesn't have a return type or void, and it has same name as class name, or else it is same only. Similarly, for the next constructor, we have to create another object and send the value. For the third constructor, again we have to create an object and send the value. This time there are 2 values to be sent. Understood? Clear? So this is an example of constructor overloading. It is almost same. you have to remember two things, that is you have to delete the return data type and you have to create as many number of objects as many number of constructors are present. Okay, clear, understood? So this completes chapter 10. So I'll be giving assignments in the future. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.